Welcome everyone to another exciting episode of the Team Lead Talks podcast. I'm your host out of Alexandria, Virginia, Andrew Becker. On today's episode out of Manhattan, New York City, we have Joan Brothers, who is the CEO and licensed broker and owner of Manhattan Boutique Real Estate, which is a local New York City and global real estate advisor. Welcome, Joan. Excited to have you here.
Thanks so much, Andrew, for having me here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed our connection call that we had before this episode. So I'm looking to really dive in here.
Okay.
Without further ado, Joan, for those that do not know you yet, please just give like a high level overview of who you are and what you do.
Sure. Okay. Well, briefly, I'm Joan Brothers. I'm the owner and CEO of Manhattan Boutique Real Estate. So our clients are global, but our product is local, so to speak. We own, or I should say I own, a real estate boutique firm in New York City. We do residential and commercial, but we also do global real estate advisory because everybody's sort of circulating around the world, and our clients may need help in Manhattan, but they may need help with a place in Dubai. Maybe not this moment in time.
Right. Yeah.
But
6 months
or
ago,
the south
maybe.
of France or London. Yes, the things are fluid. So
Right.
that's what we do. That's our business.
Very cool. So before we get in and jump into like the business aspect of it, tell us how you got into real estate. Like, did you do anything before this, or give us a little bit of background history here?
Sure. So my background was always going to be and still is international business. I got an MBA after college. I was in Boston, which was fantastic. I then did a US school, a University of Hartford Business School in Paris, which was also fabulous.
Very cool.
And then I came to New York, and I had always wanted to be like an expat. So my interest was always global, was dying to be in Hong Kong, but Hong Kong changed over and it was less interesting for me and it was less possibility of getting there. At any rate, I was at a corporate job, Mitsui. I was a steel trader, and it was a wonderful first few years of experience. But I really wanted to do something more entrepreneurial.
Okay.
And then I met some people, and they were involved in real estate. And I'd never thought about real estate as a business because I just was never exposed to it. And it was something that was interesting. I'd seen the Japanese invest heavily into real estate, so I knew it existed. I knew it existed on a residential and a commercial level. And I ended up transitioning into it early on. I was really about 25, maybe actually 24 when I went into the business. And I've been in it ever since. It's been a fascinating place to be. And the beauty of it is that you can go in and out as you see fit. You know, you can be as active or less active depending on what your needs are in life and what you need to be doing.
Very
So
cool.
it's been a fantastic business.
Yeah, I shared that I've had a couple people in Manhattan on the show already.
Yes.
It kind of is fascinating to me. Like, real estate is hard enough in the United States, and I talk to a lot of people in the industry and team leaders, and they're, when things are hard, they're pretty hard and they're struggling. But you're like this global advisor as well. So I'm curious, like, how did you get into that? Is just like one of the effects of having the affluent clientele that you do that are also looking in other very affluent areas of the world?
It's a good question. I mean, I think that's probably the sum of it. That's the summary. But honestly, I think it's like you, Andrew. You love what you do. And you love being in the fields that you're in, and you're in a multitude of different places. I've always loved being on the global stage, so to speak. So I attracted clients that were interested in New York, but they had other areas that they were interested in. And so I really think that just when you do a good job for in one category of somebody's life, they think of you for other things.
Right.
And I think that just one thing led to another.
Okay. Yeah, and how does one like attract? I've always been really curious. Like, I have seen obviously on the global stage, I should say, I see a lot of people talking about that all the time. But how's like Joan, how are you attracting that clientele? Is it like Manhattan first and then you just form this relationship and they're also like, hey, I'm also interested in, country XYZ as well?
It's a very good question. Yes, but I think it's not even me. It's just New York City. It's just electric. It attracts people who are interested in a lot of different things. And so that's what you find is that you just find people who are naturally attracted to what you're attracted to.
Yeah,
And if I'm attracted to lots of different places for investment, for interest, I love food, so different foods.
yeah,
I think it's a natural product of New York City and
right.
being in the circle.
Yeah. And as I'm sure you grew and scaled and expanded, naturally new opportunities arose. And you're very
Absolutely.
entrepreneurial. We talked a lot about that in our
Yes.
connection call again. And
Yes.
you're like, man, there's an opportunity here to really dive in and go all in. So you made that decision, right?
Yes.
Consciously. You could have just stayed in New York, right? Like I'm sure a lot of people do. Like we stayed in the Washington, D.C. area. We
Right.
never went global, but I was always a little jealous of the people that went global. I just think it's so cool. So, Joan, just question
Yes.
about like, okay, I'm a wealthy individual coming into New York, and you help me buy a condo at 432 Park on Billionaires Row. That kind of
That's your favorite one, huh?
that's my favorite one. Yes.
Okay.
So you help me buy there, and then I'm like, hey, I'm also interested in Hong Kong or Dubai.
Mhm.
Are you then flying with me over there and showing me around? Like mechanically, how does that
Yes.
work to bring it all together?
Dubai was a bit like that, but it's case by case. Honestly, we usually have people on the ground that are local but somebody wants somebody to oversee the situation and make sure that they're getting a good deal,
Right.
negotiations are fair, and that people are trusting. So, yes, sometimes we go with people. Sometimes we go see properties with them, but we wouldn't just be us doing the transaction because it would be unfair to the client. You really have to have somebody local as well. So we're overseeing the transaction. We're making sure the local person's taking good care of them. But you do need that local knowledge. There's no question. That can't be replaced.
100%. So is that
Yeah.
someone that's an extension of your team on the ground in Dubai, or is it just a trusted partner, local Dubai expert equivalent of who Joan Brothers and your brokerage is in Manhattan?
It would be a trusted partner that's a separate company because in most of these places you need a legal license. And you'd only want to operate with people who would be licensed by the local municipality for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or directly with developers too in Dubai. That's a whole
Right.
nother thing.
Yeah.
So
There's a
that's
little bit of development going on there, right?
a tiny bit.
Just a time.
Right now, it's more calm, but I think, it's a lovely place and things will continue on
Yep.
over time. Yeah.
Very cool. So walk us through after this is called the Team Lead Talks podcast after
Yes.
all. So walk us through. I know you own this brokerage, but like what's the operation inside of a Manhattan brokerage look like? Walk us through the support and the team members and how you all work together every day.
Okay. Well, in truth, for me, one of the definitive things that I decided is that with all the agents or associate brokers
Mhm.
that we have, they really have to walk the walk, meaning they have to own properties themselves. They have to be within the sphere of if they've done this for themselves, then they know how to do this for their clients. So for the commercial clients who are developers who are selling investment properties, they have to be those people. So all these people are fairly sophisticated. They know how to do the analysis. They know how to deal with people. They know what type of products to sell people that are good products. So we already have a high level agent that has either years of experience or a lot of family money that's already had, generational wealth
Okay.
kind of thing. And then, of course, we have a backup team in terms of people were doing the back office things. And then, of course, I'm the broker. But each person within their area of specialty really is great at their area of specialty. And we have about 10 people.
Awesome.
So it's
I
not
was,
huge.
I was going to ask you live on this call if I could move to Manhattan and join your team, but you mentioned the intelligence part, so that kind of took me out of the races there. So
No,
I'm going to hold
I
back.
think you'd be a gem. Are you kidding? Come on
I'd probably
over.
be the bottom of the barrel with the
No
caliber of
way.
people that you work with, Joan.
No way, Andrew. That's funny.
Joan, if someone is trying to figure out the Manhattan landscape and they want to connect not only to talk local with
Mhm.
you up in New York City, but also the global advisory part too, how does one get in touch with you? Where do they
Oh,
find
sure.
you to start that conversation with you?
Well, I mean, honestly, we're a boutique. And one of our things is we take care of our clients. We're all about our clients. So honestly, if somebody wants to call me on my cell phone is 917-517-23. If they're interested in real estate in Manhattan or they just want to chat, if we can help them, wonderful. If we can't help them, but I have some ideas of how to get them on their way, because we're basically helping with them with their next step in life. More than happy to chat. Of course, email jb@mbrenY.com and our website.
Awesome. We will also include the description in the description all of your contact information, Joan. And I think we just lost audio somehow. I'm not sure. Yeah. We'll take a timeout and I'll type to you. But yeah, thank you for being on.